You're waiting for motivation again, aren't you? One more video, one more quote, one more "I'll start tomorrow." And you know what? That's exactly why you're still stuck. Today might sting a little because motivation is a trap. 1. You were sold a beautiful lie. The world taught you that action begins with inspiration. You watch Tony Robbins, you feel unstoppable. You listen to Jocko Willink, you feel disciplined. You hear about Elon Musk, you think bigger. And 48 hours later? Nothing. Why? Because motivation is an emotion, and emotions are waves. They rise, they crash. If your actions depend on a wave, you'll always be waiting for the next one. 2. You're addicted to a feeling. Be honest. You don't start because "I'm not in the mood." "I don't feel ready." "I need more clarity." "I need more confidence." You think you have to feel prepared before you act. But here's the truth. Readiness comes after action, not before. Your brain wants comfort. Comfort means safety. Safety means no risk. And action feels like risk. So instead, you choose the illusion of progress, watching growth instead of growing. 3. Motivation is cheap dopamine. When you watch motivational content, you already feel productive. Your brain rewards you without effort. It's fast food for ambition. You get the emotional high of progress without the discomfort of doing anything. That's why after the hype fades, you crash, because neurologically, you were already paid for work you never did. 4. Discipline is the opposite of motivation. Look at people who actually build something. They don't wait to feel inspired. They show up when they don't want to. They work when it's boring. They act when it's uncomfortable. And here's the secret. Most of them don't feel motivated. They're structured. Motivation screams. Discipline whispers. Motivation promises breakthroughs. Discipline builds results. 5. Why you still do nothing? Because you're waiting for the right moment. You think one morning you'll wake up and say, "This is it. Today I change my life." No. Today will still feel heavy. Tomorrow will still feel uncomfortable. Next year will feel even harder. There is no magical moment when it becomes easy. There is only the moment you stop negotiating with yourself. 6. You confuse desire with decision. I want to change. No. You want to feel like someone who's changing. That's different. A decision is when action happens, even if you hate the process. A decision leaves no room for debate. You don't motivate yourself to brush your teeth. You just do it. That's the level your goals need to reach. 7. The hard truth. Maybe you're not lazy. Maybe you're overstimulated. Social media, instant entertainment, constant dopamine hits. Your nervous system forgot how to tolerate boredom, discomfort, monotony. But success is monotony. Not hype, not epic music, not cinematic breakthroughs, just boring, consistent repetition. 8. What actually works? Here's the formula. Shrink the goal to something almost too small. Do it every day at the same time. Ignore how you feel. That's it. Don't chase inspiration. Build an environment where action is the default. Remove distractions. Lower the barrier. Start with 10 minutes. Systems beat emotions. 9. You're either waiting or living. A year from now, you'll be in one of two places. Still here, with better excuses. Or slightly ahead, because of small, boring, consistent action. The question isn't motivation. The question is, are you willing to act without it? Motivation is a spark. Discipline is a fire. A spark looks impressive, but only fire keeps you warm. If this hit you, don't save this video. Do something immediately after it ends. 5 minutes. No music, no hype, no perfect mood. Just start, and you'll realize the trap wasn't your circumstances. The trap was waiting. This was FreeMan. Don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye-bye. I wake up early. I read books. I go to the gym. I work on my goals. I watch self-improvement videos. I try to become better every single day. So why do I still feel behind? What's wrong with me? Let's figure it out. This is FreeMan. 1. Break the illusion. You've done everything they told you to do. Discipline, habits, productivity systems, cold showers, dopamine detox. And yet, there's still anxiety, still comparison, still the feeling that it's not enough. Maybe the problem isn't that you're not doing enough. Maybe the problem is why you're doing it. 2. The hidden driver. A lot of people don't work on themselves to grow. They work on themselves to feel worthy. There's a difference. Growth comes from curiosity. Overworking yourself comes from fear. Fear of being average, fear of being invisible, fear of not being respected, fear of not being chosen. So self-improvement becomes a coping mechanism. 3. The performance trap. You start performing your life. Your morning routine isn't for you. It's to feel ahead of others. Your gym progress isn't about health. It's about validation. Your business goals aren't about freedom. They're about proving something. And here's the brutal truth. If you're building your life to escape shame, no achievement will ever feel enough. 4. Why it still feels empty. There's a concept called the hedonic treadmill. No matter what you achieve, your brain quickly adapts. You hit the goal. You feel good. For a week. Then the standard moves, and now you're behind again. You don't need more self-improvement. You need emotional honesty. 5. The real question. Ask yourself, if nobody could see my progress, would I still do it? If nobody applauded, would I still wake up at 5 a.m.? If success didn't increase my status, would I still want it? Because sometimes we don't want growth. We want approval. 7. The real shift. Real growth starts when improvement becomes optional. When you train because you enjoy it. When you read because you're curious. When you build because it excites you. Not because you're trying to outrun insecurity. You don't need to fix yourself. You need to stop trying to earn your existence. There's nothing wrong with you. You're just trying to heal through achievement. But healing doesn't come from productivity. It comes from acceptance. You can improve your life, but don't do it because you believe you are broken. Do it because you're already enough. Maybe the real freedom is not becoming better every day, but finally believing you don't have to. Subscribe to FreeMan if you want real conversations about growth, money, and freedom without the fake motivation. Thank you for watching. See you in next video. Bye-bye. I stopped listening to successful people, and you know what? My life got better. Have you noticed that the more you listen to millionaires, the worse you feel? They say, wake up at 5 a.m., work 18 hours a day, don't complain. But why do 90% of people feel exhausted, guilty, and not good enough after following their advice? Today, I'm going to explain why I stopped listening to successful people and what I realized instead. The problem: we live in the age of motivation. Every second successful person is telling you how to live. Podcasts, reels, shorts, books, courses. Examples: Elon Musk, works 100 hours a week. Andrew Tate, be alpha or you're nobody. Tony Robbins, you just aren't trying hard enough. And when you hear this over and over, it feels like the problem is you. Realization 1. They don't live your life. Their context is not your context. Different starting point, different resources, different opportunities, different psychology. Example, when a billionaire says risk everything, for him, everything might be 5% of his wealth. For you, it could mean your apartment and your family's security. Advice without context becomes manipulation. Realization 2. They're selling an image. Most successful people aren't selling experience. They're selling a myth. The myth of discipline. The myth of being self-made. The myth of 24/7 productivity. You see their stage. You don't see their anxiety, burnout, therapy, and 15 failures before success. Social media is a trailer, but you're comparing it to your behind the scenes. Realization 3. Their rules can break you. Not everyone is built for 5 a.m. Not everyone needs a business. Not everyone wants to be a millionaire. Expand. Some people are introverts. Some have different nervous systems. Some value depth over scale. When you try to live someone else's life, you betray your own. What I started doing instead. Turning point. I stopped listening to everyone, and I started listening to myself. Practical changes. Less motivational content. More silence. More reflection. Asking, what do I actually want? Instead of becoming someone, I started becoming myself. Maybe success isn't about money. Maybe it's about peace. Maybe the strongest decision you can make is to stop chasing. If you're tired of living by someone else's standards, write in the comments, I choose my own life. This is FreeMan. Here, we don't chase someone else's success. We search for freedom. See you in next video. Bye-bye. If you can't manage $100, you won't manage $100,000. Not because of income, but because of behavior. In 2026, information is free, apps are free, access is unlimited. And yet, most people still lose money. Why? Because they try to turn $100 into $10,000, instead of turning themselves into investors. Today, I'll show you exactly how to invest $100 in 2026, step by step. No hype, no gambling, no fantasy, just strategy. And if you want to be financially free in the near future, subscribe to this channel. Let's kill the illusion first. $100 will not make you rich, but it will do something more important. It will build your investment identity. There are two types of beginners. Type 1, where can I double this fast? Type 2, how do I build a repeatable system? The first one chases excitement. The second one builds wealth. We are building the second. Step 1, financial foundation check. Before investing, ask yourself 3 questions. 1, do I have high-interest debt? If yes, pay that first. 18% credit card debt beats any market return. 2, do I have at least a small emergency buffer? Even $300 to $500 matters. 3, am I investing from clarity or desperation? Desperation creates bad decisions. Liquidity creates power, even with small capital. Step 2, choose the right platform. Simplicity wins. In 2026, the biggest advantage isn't access, it's simplicity. You want low fees, fractional shares, ETF access, no leverage pressure. Avoid platforms that push, 20x leverage, meme coin banners, trending now hype. You are not a trader. You are building capital discipline. Simple platform, simple structure, long horizon. Step 3. Structure your $100 core strategy. Here's a clean framework. 70% core market exposure, $70. Broad diversified ETF exposure. Why? Because betting on the entire economy beats betting on your ego. Diversification protects beginners from emotional mistakes. 20% asymmetric bet, $20. Optional. This can be tech-focused ETF, AI exposure, emerging markets, sector you understand. This gives learning plus potential upside without risking the core. 10% liquidity, $10. Yes, keep some cash. Why? Because investing isn't about being fully invested. It's about optionality. Liquidity builds psychological stability. Alternative strategy. Invest in skills. Now let's talk about something controversial. In early stages, your highest ROI might not be the market. It might be yourself. $100 invested into a specialized skill, AI tools, financial education, sales knowledge, digital leverage could increase your income potential. Income growth versus small portfolio growth. Capital scales when income scales. So one powerful split could be $60 market, $40 skill. That's strategic compounding. Step 4. Automation and behavior design. The real power isn't the first $100. It's repetition. Set a rule. Every month, automatic deposit. Even $25 to $50. Automation removes emotion. Emotion destroys beginners. Your job isn't to predict markets. Your job is to stay consistent. Step 5. Understand risk, the real enemy. Your biggest risk with $100 isn't volatility. It's impatience. You'll see. Plus 7%, minus 5%, plus 12%, and feel something. Ignore feelings. Zoom out. Investing is boring, and boring wins. If it feels exciting, you're probably speculating. What not to do in 2026. Do not day trade $100. Use leverage. Chase viral coins. Buy something you don't understand. Panic sell on red days. Speculation rewards ego. Compounding rewards discipline. Different games. Identity shift. The goal of your first $100 investment is not profit. It's identity. From consumer to investor. Reactive to strategic. Emotional to structured. When identity shifts, behavior follows. When behavior stabilizes, capital grows. If you can manage $100 calmly, you'll manage $1,000. If you can manage $1,000, you'll manage $100,000. Money amplifies habits, so start small, but start correctly. Subscribe to FreeMan if you want to build wealth intelligently, not emotionally. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Welcome to FreeMan, the go-to space where future leaders find inspiration. Hello, FreeMan community. We've heard your requests for a definitive list of essential business reads, and we're excited to share not just a top 10, but a comprehensive list of 15 impactful books. After all, what resonates with one person might not suit another. That's why we've compiled a diverse selection of books that have guided us on our own entrepreneurial journeys. 15 must-read business books for aspiring entrepreneurs. This isn't just a top 15. It's a collection of invaluable insights waiting to be discovered. As you grow and evolve, you can tailor your reading to align with your current goals, boosting your progress and expanding your horizons. In this guide, you'll find books that cover various perspectives on business and life, so you can pick the ones that align best with your current journey. We'll also provide links to all these books in the description so you can easily find them. If you're new here, welcome. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on YouTube at FreeMan. Now, let's dive into the 15 essential business books everyone should read. 1. Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. When to read, right after high school, to broaden your horizons. This timeless classic is the foundation of modern business wisdom, emphasizing that success is achievable in any field. 2. The Secret by Rhonda Byrne. When to read. If you're new to business books and want to cultivate a success-oriented mindset, while positive thinking alone isn't everything, it's a great starting point for beginners. 3. Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. When to read. When you're ready to embark on your financial journey. This book is a game-changer for understanding money management and the difference between assets and liabilities. 4. The Intelligent Investor by Benjamin Graham. When to read. If you're considering stock market investments. As Warren Buffett's mentor, Graham's insights into value investing are essential for any investor. 5. Money, Master the Game by Tony Robbins. When to read. Once you start earning and want to secure your financial future. This book offers practical advice from top wealth managers, making complex financial strategies accessible. 6. The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. When to read. If you're craving a lifestyle change and more freedom. Tim Ferriss explores the concept of location independence, empowering you to live life on your terms. 7. The Millionaire Fastlane by M.J. DeMarco. When to read. After diving into the 4-Hour Workweek. This book challenges conventional wisdom and offers a bold, alternative path to wealth. 8. The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. When to read. If you're struggling with procrastination and want to transform your habits. This book delves into the science of habit formation and how to harness it for personal growth. 9. Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand. When to read. During a relaxing holiday, when you want to dive into deep philosophical themes. This novel, while not a traditional business book, explores Ayn Rand's philosophy of objectivism and can be incredibly thought-provoking. 10. How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. When to read. If you want to improve your interpersonal skills and build meaningful relationships. This classic teaches timeless principles of effective communication and influence. 11. The $100 Startup by Chris Guillebeau. When to read. If you're eager to start a business on a tight budget. This book is filled with inspiring case studies that show how to launch successful ventures with minimal investment. 12. The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari by Robin Sharma. When to read. If you've achieved financial success but still feel unfulfilled. This book explores the intersection of wealth and inner peace, guiding you toward a balanced life. 13. E.E. Myth, Revisited by Michael E. Gerber. When to read. If you're launching your first business and want to avoid common pitfalls. Gerber's book offers valuable lessons on building a business that works for you, not the other way around. 14. The 10X Rule by Grant Cardone. When to read. If your business growth has plateaued and you're ready to push beyond limits. This book is all about taking massive action and achieving extraordinary results. 15. 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel. When to read. If you're ready to innovate and disrupt industries. Thiel's insights will help you think differently and create something truly unique. We know there are many more great books out there, and we're planning a follow-up video. Let us know in the comments which titles you'd like to see next. Thank you for being part of the FreeMan community. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and check out the recommended videos. We'll see you again soon.
Everyone tells you that cash is useless, that it loses value. that inflation is eating it alive, that smart people invest every single dollar. But during every major crisis in history, the people who got richest were the ones holding cash. You see, cash is not about making money. Cash is about having power. Because when you have cash, you're not forced to play the game. You decide when the game starts. Imagine two people. Person A has everything invested: stocks, crypto, real estate, even their emergency fund is in the market. Person B is holding most of their wealth in cash. Now a recession hits. Person A says, "I hope I don't lose my job." Person B says, "I wonder what I should buy first." During the global financial crisis, most investors were panicking, selling, trying to survive. But Berkshire Hathaway was sitting on tens of billions in cash. And when the market collapsed, they didn't lose money. They went shopping, buying stakes in companies like Goldman Sachs, General Electric, on terms that were impossible just months before. Because when everyone needs money, the person with cash makes the rules. Cash buys something that investments cannot. It buys time. The ability to walk away from a toxic job. The ability to say no to bad opportunities. The freedom to wait for the right one. And most importantly, cash buys patience. And patience is the ultimate market advantage. When markets crash, people don't sell because they want to. They sell because they have to. Funds get margin called. Businesses run out of runway. Homeowners can't make payments. And suddenly, assets worth $1 million are being sold for $500,000. And guess who buys them? Not the best investor, not the smartest analyst, but the person with liquidity. In the book Anti-Fragile, Nassim Taleb explains that some things benefit from disorder. Cash is one of them. The more uncertain the world becomes, the more valuable liquidity gets. Wealthy people don't hold cash because they fear losing returns. They hold cash because they fear missing opportunities. Because the best opportunities appear suddenly, don't last long, and require immediate action. And only cash gives you the right to act instantly. Most people invest to get rich, but the rich hold cash, so they can get richer when everyone else is forced to sell. Subscribe to FreeMan for financial truths nobody talks about. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Hi, everyone. I'm glad to see you on the FreeMan channel. Today, I have a video for you about how smart and successful people really think. I invite you to watch it. Daily habits. Smart people have in common. What do smart people actually have in common? Many assume intelligence is something you're simply born with, a fixed trait you either have or don't. But modern science tells a very different story. Intelligence isn't static. It's flexible. It grows with the right habits. What truly sets intelligent people apart isn't raw talent. It's the daily behaviors they commit to. These habits protect their mental health, sharpen their thinking, and help them learn faster over time. Today, we're breaking down 15 habits commonly shared by smart, high-performing individuals. Habits you can start practicing immediately. Let's begin. 1. They ask questions. Constantly smart people are curious by default. They aren't afraid to ask questions, even basic ones. They understand that curiosity is not a weakness, but the starting point of learning. Instead of pretending to know everything, they ask, why does this work? How does this connect? What am I missing here? Every good answer begins with a good question. 2. They read beyond one topic. Smart people don't limit themselves to one genre. They read across disciplines: science, history, psychology, biographies, business, philosophy. This helps them form connections between ideas that most people never notice. Even 10 to 15 pages a day compounds into massive mental growth over time. 3. They spend time with thoughtful people. Your environment shapes your thinking. Smart people intentionally surround themselves with individuals who enjoy meaningful discussions, challenge assumptions, bring new perspectives. They don't need to be smarter, just curious, driven, and thoughtful. 4. They take time to think. In a distracted world, thinking has become rare. Smart people pause. They reflect. They process information instead of reacting instantly. They listen more than they speak. And when they speak, their words carry weight. 5. They move their bodies regularly. Mental clarity depends heavily on physical health. Exercise improves memory, focus, and mood. Smart people don't separate mind and body. They understand they work together. Whether it's walking, lifting weights, yoga, or stretching, movement is non-negotiable. 6. They eat for energy, not just pleasure. Food is fuel. Smart people prioritize balanced meals that support long-term focus and mental stamina. Protein, complex carbohydrates, healthy fats. They avoid constant junk food not out of discipline, but because they know it drains mental performance. 7. They reflect through writing. Writing clarifies thinking. Many intelligent people journal regularly, not to write beautifully, but to organize thoughts, track ideas, and reflect on experiences. Writing forces your brain to slow down and structure information logically. 8. They try new things. Even if they might fail, smart people aren't fearless. They're comfortable with learning through failure. They understand that skill only develops through repetition, experimentation, and mistakes. Progress requires action, not perfection. 9. They apply what they learn. Learning without application is entertainment. Smart people test ideas in real life. They discuss them, teach them, share them. Explaining something to others is one of the fastest ways to truly understand it yourself. 10. They protect their attention. Smart people are selective. They limit distractions, choose priorities carefully, and avoid spreading their energy too thin. Focus is a skill, and attention is one of the most valuable resources we have. 11. They take mental breaks. Constant stimulation leads to burnout. Smart people step away regularly. Short walks, quiet moments, digital breaks. These pauses allow the brain to reset and form deeper insights. 12. They stay organized. Clutter creates mental noise. Organized spaces, structured files, and clear systems help smart people think more efficiently and reduce cognitive load. Less chaos outside means more clarity inside. 13. They observe human behavior. Smart people study people. They notice motivations, emotions, patterns, and reactions. This improves decision-making, communication, and empathy. Understanding people is a powerful form of intelligence. 14. They practice active observation. Instead of moving through life on autopilot, smart people stay aware. They notice details, conversations, environments, social dynamics. This habit sharpens perception and deepens understanding of the world. 15. They prioritize sleep. Sleep isn't optional. It's essential. During sleep, the brain consolidates memory processes. Information clears metabolic waste. Smart people rest when their bodies need it, because thinking clearly depends on recovery. Bonus: they play games that challenge the mind. Games that require strategy, logic, or creativity help keep the brain flexible. Puzzles, problem-solving games, and even certain video games improve cognitive performance when used intentionally. Learning doesn't always have to feel like work. Intelligence isn't a gift reserved for a few. It's built, habit by habit, day by day. You don't need to adopt all of these behaviors at once. Start with one. Practice it consistently. Let us know in the comments. Which habit do you want to build first? If you found value in this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Hi everyone, nice to see you on this FreeMan channel. Today we show how live around 25% of American households. So, let's get started. The two-income trap, why high-earning families live on the edge. Imagine a couple, a very ordinary one. She works in marketing and earns about $62,000 a year. He's in IT, making around $71,000. Together, that's $133,000 in annual household income. That puts them in the top 25% of American households. By all the rules, they should be doing great, saving money, investing, taking vacations, feeling stable and secure. But that's not their reality. They're constantly stressed, living paycheck to paycheck or very close to it. Their emergency fund would maybe cover 2 months of expenses, and that's being generous. When their car broke down recently, the repair went straight on a credit card. They both work full-time, often more than full-time. They're exhausted. During the week, they barely see each other, just a few tired hours in the evening. And here's the most absurd part. They did everything right. They got their degrees, built careers, got married, combined finances, bought a house in a good area with decent schools. They followed the script society calls a successful life. So why does it feel like they're drowning? Why does a six-figure household feel so fragile? If you've ever looked at your combined income and thought, we make too much money to feel this broke, this video will connect a lot of dots. Subscribe to FreeMan and hit like if this resonates. We were sold a beautiful idea. For decades, we were told 2 incomes are better than 1. The math sounds obvious. If one person can support a family on $50,000, then 2 people earning $50,000 should easily support that same family and still have an extra $50,000 for savings, investing, and freedom. But that's not what happened. Instead, we fell into one of the biggest financial bait and switches of modern times. It's called the two-income trap. The term was coined in 2003 by Elizabeth Warren. Yes, that Elizabeth Warren, long before politics, when she was a Harvard law professor. Together with her daughter, she studied more than 2,000 families who filed for bankruptcy. What they found was shocking. 2 incomes didn't make families more secure. They made them more vulnerable. Dual-income families were more likely to go bankrupt than single-income families. Think about that. Working twice as hard, bringing home 2 paychecks, doing everything the system told you to do, and still being more likely to lose everything. That's not a personal failure. That's a systemic trap. A quick look back in time. Let's rewind to 1970. Less than half of women were in the workforce. The typical family had 1 primary earner and 1 parent at home. And here's the key part. 1 income was enough. The average family could buy a home while spending about 25% of income on housing, send kids to public schools, afford health care, a car, food, and still save money. Most importantly, they had a backup plan. If something went wrong, the stay-at-home parent could enter the workforce. That second income was an emergency reserve, a financial airbag. Now look at today. Today, over 60% of married couples with children have both parents working. The backup plan has become the default. Yes, we earn more than our parents did, but costs have exploded. Housing prices have doubled. Healthcare costs are up over 600%. Childcare costs $11,000 to $30,000 per child per year. College costs are up more than 200%. The second income didn't create wealth. It got absorbed completely. Where the second income really goes? Example, $70,000 plus $50,000 equals $120,000. Now look at that second $50,000. Taxes minus 30%, childcare minus $15,000, commuting, second car minus $8,000, convenience spending due to exhaustion minus $5,000 to $10,000. What's left? $0 to $2,000 per year, about $1 per hour of real work. Someone works full-time, misses time with their kids, and the household gains almost nothing. The real problem: banks, markets, and social pressure push families to build lives that require two incomes forever, and the moment one income disappears, the whole structure collapses. That's why bankruptcies happen. That's why stress is constant. That's why so many families feel one step from disaster. The solution? Change the foundation. Financially strong families think differently. They design life so one income covers all basic expenses, treat the second income as optional, not required, invest the difference, buy flexibility, not status. Yes, it's harder at first, but in 5 to 10 years, it delivers something no loan ever will: real security. Final thought: this isn't really about money, it's about choice. Thank you for being to finish. I hope you enjoy. Don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.
How to stop procrastinating. A simple 7-day plan. Do you do this too? You wake up thinking, today I'll finally start. An hour passes, then another, and suddenly it's evening and you've done nothing important again. It's not because you're lazy, it's because you're stuck. Today, I'll give you a simple 7-day plan that will actually help you move forward. No magic, no motivational fluff, just action. Why you procrastinate. Procrastination isn't about laziness. You delay because the task feels too big. You're afraid of doing it badly. You don't have clarity. Your brain chooses easy dopamine, your phone, videos, scrolling. Your brain always chooses the path of least resistance. So the goal isn't to be stronger. The goal is to make the right actions easier than procrastination. Let's go. The 7-day plan. Day 1, clear the chaos. Your task: write down everything that's on your mind. Don't organize it, just dump it out. Work, workouts, calls, ideas, small tasks, everything. Then choose only 3 main goals for the week. Not 15, not 10, 3. When everything is blurry, you feel paralyzed. When you have 3 clear targets, you gain focus. Day 2, the 2-minute rule. Start any task with a 2-minute version. Need to work out? Do 5 push-ups. Need to write a project? Open the document and write the first paragraph. Need to study? Read 1 page. The goal isn't perfection. The goal is momentum. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. Day 3, the 25-minute focus method. Set a timer for 25 minutes. 1 task. No phone. No switching. 25 minutes doesn't feel scary. Your brain agrees to it. Then take a 5-minute break. Repeat. You'll be surprised how much you can accomplish in 2 to 3 focused sessions. Focus is a muscle. Train it. Day 4. Eliminate triggers. You're not weak. You're surrounded by distractions. For 1 day, put your phone in another room. Turn off notifications. Work in a clean space. Your environment shapes your behavior. If your phone is next to you, you lose. If it's in another room, you win without fighting. Discipline isn't willpower, it's smart design. Day 5. Do it badly, but do it. One of the biggest reasons for procrastination is perfectionism. You want it to be perfect, so you don't start at all. Today's rule is simple. Create a minimum acceptable version. A bad draft is better than a blank page. A weak workout is better than none. Action creates progress. Perfection creates delay. Day 6. 1 main task. Today, you have only 1 main task. Not a list of 10. 1. Until it's done, you don't move to small things. Most people are busy, but not productive. Single task focus is power. Day 7. Review and lock it in. Sit down and answer honestly. What worked? What felt hardest? Which day gave you real progress? Now keep 2-3 tools that gave you the biggest impact. Make them part of your routine. You don't need 20 techniques. You need a system you actually use. The important truth. Motivation is a feeling. Discipline is a decision. You won't always feel like it, but you can still act. Character is built in the moments when you work without motivation. Small daily actions change your self-image. You start trusting yourself, and that changes everything. 7 days. No extreme changes, no heroic effort. Just small actions, every day. Start today, not Monday, not the perfect moment. Comment below, which day will be hardest for you? If this helped, like the video and subscribe. Here we build discipline. Here we get stronger. This is FreeMan. See you in the next video. Bye-bye. You're waiting for motivation again, aren't you? One more video, one more quote, one more "I'll start tomorrow." And you know what? That's exactly why you're still stuck. Today might sting a little because motivation is a trap. 1. You were sold a beautiful lie. The world taught you that action begins with inspiration. You watch Tony Robbins, you feel unstoppable. You listen to Jocko Willink, you feel disciplined. You hear about Elon Musk, you think bigger. And 48 hours later? Nothing. Why? Because motivation is an emotion, and emotions are waves. They rise, they crash. If your actions depend on a wave, you'll always be waiting for the next one. 2. You're addicted to a feeling. Be honest. You don't start because "I'm not in the mood." "I don't feel ready." "I need more clarity." "I need more confidence." You think you have to feel prepared before you act. But here's the truth. Readiness comes after action, not before. Your brain wants comfort. Comfort means safety. Safety means no risk. And action feels like risk. So instead, you choose the illusion of progress, watching growth instead of growing. 3. Motivation is cheap dopamine. When you watch motivational content, you already feel productive. Your brain rewards you without effort. It's fast food for ambition. You get the emotional high of progress without the discomfort of doing anything. That's why after the hype fades, you crash, because neurologically, you were already paid for work you never did. 4. Discipline is the opposite of motivation. Look at people who actually build something. They don't wait to feel inspired. They show up when they don't want to. They work when it's boring. They act when it's uncomfortable. And here's the secret. Most of them don't feel motivated. They're structured. Motivation screams. Discipline whispers. Motivation promises breakthroughs. Discipline builds results. 5. Why you still do nothing? Because you're waiting for the right moment. You think one morning you'll wake up and say, "This is it. Today I change my life." No. Today will still feel heavy. Tomorrow will still feel uncomfortable. Next year will feel even harder. There is no magical moment when it becomes easy. There is only the moment you stop negotiating with yourself. 6. You confuse desire with decision. I want to change. No. You want to feel like someone who's changing. That's different. A decision is when action happens, even if you hate the process. A decision leaves no room for debate. You don't motivate yourself to brush your teeth. You just do it. That's the level your goals need to reach. 7. The hard truth. Maybe you're not lazy. Maybe you're overstimulated. Social media, instant entertainment, constant dopamine hits. Your nervous system forgot how to tolerate boredom, discomfort, monotony. But success is monotony. Not hype, not epic music, not cinematic breakthroughs, just boring, consistent repetition. 8. What actually works? Here's the formula. Shrink the goal to something almost too small. Do it every day at the same time. Ignore how you feel. That's it. Don't chase inspiration. Build an environment where action is the default. Remove distractions. Lower the barrier. Start with 10 minutes. Systems beat emotions. 9. You're either waiting or living. A year from now, you'll be in one of two places. Still here, with better excuses. Or slightly ahead because of small, boring, consistent action. The question isn't motivation. The question is, are you willing to act without it? Motivation is a spark. Discipline is a fire. A spark looks impressive, but only fire keeps you warm. If this hit you, don't save this video. Do something immediately after it ends. 5 minutes. No music, no hype, no perfect mood. Just start, and you'll realize the trap wasn't your circumstances. The trap was waiting. This was FreeMan. Don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video. Bye-bye.